Good morning all. My name is Udo Kelechi from SS1 Sciences of Hope Academy Schools, and today my colleagues and I will be talking on separation techniques. Firstly, what are separation techniques? Separation techniques are physical methods of separating mixtures. Types of separation techniques. Types of separation techniques include sieving, filtration, decantation, magnetization, evaporation, separating funnel, chromatography, centrifugation, distillation, fractional distillation, crystallization, precipitation, and sublimation. And today my colleagues and I will use experiments and practicals to show you a separate type of separation techniques. Firstly, sieving apparatus used for separating solid-solid mixtures having different sizes. Examples are beans and salt. What I'm about to do now is sieving. In this method, you will see that the beans, whose particles are larger, will remain in the sieve, while the salt, whose particles are smaller, will go down. Watch as I demonstrate. Secondly, the filtration apparatus used for separating insoluble solid from a liquid. Examples are sand and water. When we pour our mixture containing sand and water, the sand remains on filter paper as a residue, while the water passes through the filter paper into the conical flask as a filtrate. This is how we fold our filter paper. We cross it like this and turn it, and then open it from the inside and insert into the funnel. When we pour the water and sand mixture into the funnel, the sand remains as a residue, while the water goes down to the conical flask as a filtrate. This process is called filtration. This is a mixture of sand and water, and what I am doing now is decantation. At this point, I want to hand the mic over to one of my classmates.
Thank you. This apparatus you're seeing here is called the separating funnel. This apparatus is used for separating two immiscible liquids, e.g. kerosene and water. This is a mixture of kerosene and water. The difference in the densities of the liquids in the mixture is used in this separation technique. This mixture is now separated into two layers. The lower layer is water, which is denser than kerosene, which floats on top. The next technique is called the magnetization technique. It makes use of a magnet, and it is used for separating metals from non-metals, e.g. sand and iron filling. So I pour my sand into beaker, and now the iron filling. Now we are going to separate the iron filling from the sand. Watch as the magnet takes the iron filling. You can see now most of the iron filling is now on the magnet. Now I'm going to pass over to my colleague to continue.
Thank you. The next one is chromatography apparatus. This is a simple paper chromatography used for separating organic mixture or mixture of colors based on their retention factor. That is, the different rate of movement of the constituents of the mixture in a solvent like ethanol over an absorbent like viscous filter paper. Here we have two different colors which are red and blue, and then our ethanol and our filter paper. This is a mixture of two different colors, red and blue. The first thing is to pour the ethanol inside the beaker. Then we'll insert our filter paper into the ethanol. As you can see, the mixture has been separated into two different layers. The next technique is precipitation. This separation technique makes use of the difference in the solubility of a solid substance in two miscible liquids. First, when the solid is dissolved in the liquid in which it is soluble, addition of liquid which is not soluble throws out the solid as precipitant. For example, iron 2 tetrahydrosulfate dissolves in water to form a solution. By adding ethanol, the iron 2 tetrahydrosulfate will be precipitated. This solid iron 2 tetrahydrosulfate is removed by filtration or... I'll now be handing over to my classmate to continue from here.
Thank you. This is a centrifuging machine used for separating fine solid particles that are in suspension in a liquid, e.g. red blood cells in a cell and dirty water, but today we'll be making use of dirty water. This is our dirty water. We will subject it into centrifuging by inserting it into one of these holes. The centrifuge spins the test tube containing the dirty water at high speed so that the tiny particles come together and form large ones, which are then forced to the bottom. The clear liquid on the top of the test tube is removed by decantation. Then we will now on our centrifuge. As you can see, the centrifuge is spinning our test tube. We will now bring our test tube out. This is the water and this is the sun. The clear liquid on the top of the test tube is removed by decantation. This is an evaporating apparatus used for separating a soluble solid from a liquid by boiling, e.g. salt and water. This mixture will now be placed on the water bath. The water bath is supplying heat to the evaporating mixture. After a while, all the water will be evaporated, leaving behind the salt. This is the salt that is left behind. I will now hand over to my colleague to continue.
Thank you. Next, we'll be talking about the distillation apparatus, which is used for separating liquid-liquid mixtures with wired boiling points, e.g. water and ethanol. Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade, while ethanol boils at 78 degrees centigrade. It can also be used to obtain distilled water. The water coming down is known as distillate and is the purest form of water. These same apparatus can be used for fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is used for separating liquid-liquid mixtures with close boiling points, such as crude oil. One of the differences between distillation and fractional distillation is that fractional distillation makes use of the thermometer to check temperature. The next one we're going to be talking about is sublimation. This separation technique is used for separating solid substances in which one changes directly to gaseous state without passing through the liquid state. Examples of substances that can sublime are... The next separation technique we'll be talking about is sublimation. This separation technique is used for separating solid substances in which one changes directly to gaseous state without passing through the liquid state. Examples of substances that can sublime are sulfur, iodine, ammonium chloride, and naphthalene. The mixture today is a mixture of sand and sulfur.
Now we'll turn on our beaker. After a while, sulfur will sublime and stay under a round bottom flask, while the sand will be left in the beaker. As you can see, the sulfur is now totally sublimed, leaving behind the sand.
This is a presentation made by the SS1 students. Thank you for watching.